Hey folks, good morning. Ron Howard, xTreme Sequences, bringing you a two-part tutorial. The first part we're going to cover setting up this house you see here. This is a beautiful home with airbrushed trees and a yard, so to speak. A typical California home. In reality, you would see a home similar to it about 6 to 8 feet away from it on the left or right. And these are homes just down the street, and they're gorgeous. And I would love to have this home. This would be a dream home to put lights on. So I thought I would grab this and use it as an example to set up a complete layout. So this is probably going to be a fairly long tutorial. It will be in two parts. The first part will just concentrate on putting models on it, outlines, choosing different tools to make it the way we would like to have a great show. And you can use multiple tools to accomplish the same thing. And if you watched X Essentials, you saw me go through that. I had to rush through a lot of it, so I want to take my time here and get this going. In the part two, we'll talk about addressing the universes, yes, the bucket of nodes and channels and whatnot, and try to make some sense of that. So this part of the video will be for the basic members, and then as we get into the advanced section, we'll probably put that in the platinum members section, because we're going to go a little more deep into it, because there's a lot, and I work with a lot of people to do this one-on-one, so we're going to share a lot of information here, so stay tuned. Here we go. First thing I want to do is I'm going to let's just take a look at this house. I think I would probably start on the top up here and do my eaves first. And I'll definitely use the polyline for this, and probably go all the way back here and use individual segments to represent the number of nodes in each of those sections. We'll do all the windows. And now that they've changed the windows feature to start on left or right, I'm okay going back to the windows instead of using the polyline on the windows. The only reason I would use a polyline right now is if the window had a nice, beautiful curve to it. Then I would definitely do that, so I could trace the contour of the window. But these are all square, so we'll go with that. I think we'll put some verts in some of these areas here. Definitely here, and definitely all the way down. We'll also outline this area going around the patio porch area here. I think we'll put some columns on these. I think maybe we'll go with little matrix columns here to look good, and maybe throw a matrix in here. Not sure about this area. We'll get there. We'll do something with the garage, and we'll put some yard models in from the cool drop down. Okay, let's get going. First thing I want to do, let's just bring this down 50%, and we'll just start drawing. Here we go. This is the polyline tool. I'm going to start, let's just start on this corner here. And we'll go up, down, that goes back a little bit. And I am clicking each time I get to a point where it changes direction. On the last point where you're not going to go any further, you click once there, it stops it, hit the escape key, and now you can move your mouse away. Otherwise, it'll keep dragging it all over the place. Alright, so there's an outline. Let's go for some verts right now. So I'm going to use a single line for this, and it doesn't really matter if you start at the top or bottom, because you can tell xLights you're going to plug it in at the top or the bottom. So I typically just start at the top and we'll drag down. So I'm going to click in this corner. You know what? I wonder if we should just make a U shape go up and around. That would kill two birds with one stone, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's do that. Let's use the polyline tool, and we're going to start right here. I think this is a better idea. And we'll go up, escape, and that's there. That looks good. Because we can make verts out of submodels, and we'll look at that later. Let's go ahead and throw in a single line here. Oops. There we go. That looks good. Let's do another single line here. Yeah, we're gonna do it here and up here. That looks good. Straighten it up just a little bit. And I'll show you something else. If I click this one more time and it stays gray, watch what happens after I finish drawing one. I can go ahead and just click and draw another one. And all the way to the end here, which is going to be a really long vert. All right, that looks good. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll have the garage. Let's go ahead and do the garage. And for the garage, I'm going to use the polyline tool. By the way, if you have it grayed out and you don't deselect it, next time you hit somewhere, guess what? It's going to make that. And then you're going to go, well, I'm going to try to click it and get rid of it. Oh, man, hold on. I'm trying to click it. Nope. Turn that off. Last of these, delete. That's all you have to do. All right, let's use this polyline tool. Well, it'd be fun to go up here and create the curves for this, but that's, that's going to be really hard to put pixels to contour to that. So let's just go straight up with the garage and over. And I'm going to bring this one a little short because we have a matrix that's going to go on the side there. Hit escape, and we have our garage done. Okay, that's looking good. Let's go ahead and come down this section with a polyline for this patio area. I'm just going to extend a little bit past it so I can kind of keep in this area here. And escape. That looks good. Now you notice I'm not naming anything. I'm going to go back and name them here in a moment. Let's go ahead and go with our windows. So I'm going to use the window tool. Well, that was not the window tool. Hello. Where are we going? Where are we going? Create new window frame. Here we go. Did I click you? I did. Let's save this. And let's go back to the window tool. Well, isn't that interesting? Did we find a bug? No. Let's make sure everything is turned off here. That's good. There we go. I don't know. No clue why I did that. Okay. See how that just moved out of the way? Isn't that annoying? I'm trying to click on the window. It clicked on this little U section here. I'm going to hit Control Z to put it back, and then I'm going to take care of this problem. It's selected. I'm going to right click, lock. Now it won't move. Can't move you, but I can still do all this other fun things over here when we set it up. So let me go back to my window, and we'll try to get this lined up. Now, there are times if things are skewed a certain way, it might make more sense to go with the polyline tool, because I could go in there and really make it look just like the window. And let's take a look at that. Let's start this from the bottom. I'm going to go up. I'm going to go over. Come right down. Because it is at a slight angle. And maybe it's just OCD that's saying, you know what, I'd rather have it like that than cover part of the window. And that's okay. And let's go over here. Let's do this one. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that drive you crazy? Right click on it. Lock. That won't happen again, will it? Okay. These next three windows are the same size, so I'm going to hit Control C for Control Copy, Control V, Paste. And I'll line these up. Control Copy, Control V. And if you just double click, you'll find out it'll stop selecting. It'll click the top one, then yours real fast. Control Copy, Control V. Watch. Bump, bump. There we go. That's looking decent. And we can go ahead and Control Copy, Control V, no problem. And then we'll just resize this one. Yeah, it drives you a little crazy, doesn't it? All right. And are we going to do this window in here? What are we going to do in here? We're going to do something a little more creative. We did talk about putting a matrix maybe in this area that hides the doorway. Or do we put a matrix in here? And by doing so, it's going to block sunlight out of this room. So you got to think about these things when you're putting something big and you're going to cover a window, as I do in my office over here. Between September and January, my office is really dark. And it's kind of a bummer. I've got cameras so I can see everything, but it's not the same thing. It's not a good replacement for light. You know, we need light. Light makes us mentally better. Okay, I think we'll probably put a matrix here. We'll do that. Why don't we just save that for last, though, and see if there's anything else missing on the house that we would like to put on it. Yes, we did say we were going to do these columns. So let's just use the matrix tool, and we'll drag this down. And this is just to put a little, because we don't know how big these are going to be. For now, we're just going to, these are just placeholders. And at 16 by 50, I think these are going to be probably, those aren't very wide, probably 4 strands of 100. And then we have to tell this it's vertical. And 100 is going to be way too many. I'm telling you that right now. If we do a 2-inch spacing, yeah, that won't fly. So maybe we'll pack, I don't know, we might be able to do 1-inch separation. We'll look at that. But I do want these to go up to the very top. I think it'll look really cool if we get that just like that. And there's going to be 4 of these. So I'm going to hit Control Copy, Control V. I'm going to put one right there. Control Copy, Control V. Control Copy, Control V. And, you know, probably for the first time with xLights, I'm not really concerned about giving these any addresses at this point, because each one has a separate address. You see, it's if we look at our start channel up here, there's nothing overlapping. It just keeps adding at the end, and that's what our developers did. So you folks out there that are using this a lot, the developers sure appreciate when you do kick some coins in the kitty for them. These things help Keith and Gil and Sean and everybody make it possible to travel out to be at events, because you all know it's expensive to travel. All right, so what do we have here so far? Oh, we can't forget something. I want ridge lines, because you know, on this house, I think I would do C9 ridge lines. Let's do that. So we're going to do something kind of cool here. We're going to go back to this polyline. I'm going to start up here, because I know from the street, people are going to see this section. I'm going to take this, and we're going to go all the way down to here. And I'm going to hit escape. And while I'm here, while I'm at this one, I'm going to go ahead and tell it that the appearance of these, I'm going to make the pixel size 4. just to give me a visual reference that I know that these are different bulbs. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go from this ridgeline area right up here, go across the top, and then just come down to this section, hit escape, and we will make these size 4 pixel. And I think I'm just going to bring this down a little bit more so it hides. There we go. I think that'll look good. Now, from the street, we might be able to see this ridge line up there, and you'd have to make the call on whether you're going to put a ridge line up there. But for now, we will leave that alone. And let's take a look at this without the house. That's looking pretty nice. We don't have the right amount of pixels in there, of course, but it's looking good. I wonder, let's go back and look at this. Yeah, so might be interesting to put pixels here to get this to go up, around, and straight up. Maybe. Okay, let's continue on. And I will put the matrix in at the very last model. Typically that would be at the very end in most situations, at least mine. Let's continue with let's put some props on here from Boscoyo. So I'm just going to draw a box up here, and this will take me to this section so we can look at some snowflakes. And let's look at this house. Let's see what this area here is a great area for coverage. Over here, top area over here, around here. There's a lot of area where we could put models to help with the whole pixel density for the house, for whole house effects, and also for isolations. So I'm just going to put a couple on here. I'm just going to put some, let's go 47. Do we have a big area? Oh, we gotta do. Let's go with the 3-prong fancy. That's pixel count's 126. Let's insert that model. And we know that that might look good right in this area here. All right. Doesn't have to be. We can always change it. Let's go in here again and look at some 24-inch snowflakes. Let's go with the 3-prong. I don't know if we can select more than one. No, you cannot. And we'll put this guy here. Control, copy, Control V. Let's put you over here. Control, copy, Control V. And by the way, if you don't like the shortcut commands, you can always go up here and click on Edit, Copy, Cut, Paste. Okay. What cut does, it simply cuts it, removes it, so you can put it somewhere else and paste it. Okay. All right, and we'll just leave these here. I don't know if that's what I'd really put there, but for the purpose of the tutorial, that will work. You can put stuff all over. Let's put some arches in here. And how many do we want? Do we want 4? Let's put 4 in there. And they got smaller. Awesome. And let's just put these right here. And I think that's enough to start with. I mean, if we wanted to, I mean, we could put candy canes in. Let's go crazy. And let's put those in right. Put them in like that. And let's say we want 6. And I'm going to grab this top handle here and try to make them straight. There we go. That looks good. Well, if we're going to do 6 there, the way our symmetrical mind works for some of us, we're probably going to put 6 over here. All right. And let's just say that that is our last. Oh, we have to put a wreath up here. Who's kidding who? Now, there's wreaths that you could put there from in here. You can make your own from the models up here. So let's just look at what this wreath looks like, and it should be the same. Other props, wreaths, and the 42 chroma wreath is the one that I have. And you notice I didn't drag the, oh, look what I did too. See how that's grayed out? It's just every time I click, it's going to create a new one. So let's delete that one. Let's resize this. Because I didn't drag a circle, it made it really big. So something that would be good to do when you're downloading these models from this library from Boscoyo is just click a little area where about the size you want it to be. Then go in, grab it, take a look at it, make sure you're getting the right one. It's made from coral, 10 millimeter. It's 43 by 43 inches, so it tells you. So if you know you've got 43 inches, you'll be good there. I think that's probably going to be tight, and I'll probably switch places with these. I don't know. Let's insert the model. But for now, this would probably be the smaller one you'd want to use. But we'll put it there, and that's okay. So what's the difference in this one and creating your own? So you could create a wreath, and I think a lot of people tend to use this because you could tell it layer sizes 50, 40, 30. And you could tell it that there are 90, 120 nodes. I think that looks good there. Oh, let me see here. One string, 50 nodes, center 50, 50, 40, 30. Layer size. What am I missing here? What did I do wrong? Oh, would I tell it 3 strings? I guess you would. So that is one way, and I'm not sure that's the way I like. Let's try this one. The wreath. And this one right away, and we're going to say 120. And individual start channels? Nope. See, that's the funny thing. The wreath really isn't a wreath, because I don't think you could tell it that. I guess we could tell it, no. That's why you would either use this or something like this. That would look better. In the center percentage, you could put that at 20, and you notice that gets smaller. But this actually looks better right now. Now, I know we can finagle with this and make it better, but I'll play with that more. So we have a wreath. Let's go back and start naming some of this stuff, and we'll start where we began. And this says polyline. I'm going to call this roof line. Okay. And this is going to be ridge line 1. I'll just call it ridge 1. And do not leave characters like that. See how I have a question mark in there? Don't have those in there. Bad, bad, bad. Ridge 2, this one will be ridge 2. Hit enter. This is going to be, I'm going to call this let's just call this section 1 for now, because I want to split these up in a minute. Let's go over here. Now let's see, we did that. And this is window 1. Window 2. Now there is a benefit to naming these ahead of time, and that is when you copy and paste, it will automatically give it the same name so that you don't actually have to name it. And I probably should have done that, but that's okay. Window 4. Window 5. Window 6. And I haven't forgotten about the matrix. Okay, good. And we'll call this, you'll notice here, see how it's called Boscoyo Chroma Flake 24 3-prong? This one, because I pasted it from that, is Boscoyo Chroma Flake 24 prong 2. So we can leave those names. Let's just leave that, and we'll leave that name. They're long names. I don't typically like long names because if I don't want to have to pull this all the way out to see the name. And when we're in the sequencer area, I don't want to have to guess which model that is because I can't pull this any further and it becomes a problem. So I would highly recommend just shortening the names. You can just call this Flake 24 prong. And you'll notice when I'm in here and I click outside of it, it locks that name in there. Watch what happens if I fix the name. I'll take off the Chroma Flake and Boscoyo, and then I click on this next one here. You notice when it's red, it's asking you to do something. If I click here or anywhere, and then I click back on this flake, it did not change the name. You have to click another cell for it to lock in. And now if I go over here, click somewhere else, and come back in, it keeps that name. You don't have to save it, but it's a good habit to get into saving it. So again, we'll go to this one. We'll take out the the Boscoyo chroma part of that. Click in this area. I'll go to this last one here and do the same thing. And we'll just back that out. Click in here. Now I will save that, and we're good. All right, let's get this vert up here. That is going to be, I'm going to call that upper vert 1. And you can also hit enter, which is really fast, and it locks it in. This will be our upper vert 2. The naming convention is really, really important, and I'll tell you why. As you bring in other people's sequences, or you buy sequences, and the person that created the sequence used groups or submodels, and you want to map all that over so your house looks great, there's some nomenclature conundrum that happens when your idea that you know how your house works and your naming convention, the next person may go, I don't even know what a gable is. I guess I'll click on it and find out. So it creates a little extra work, and we don't have a standard naming convention for everything. So roof, eave, window, winder, if you're from the South. That was a dig, sorry. I grew up in Texas, I know. I can say winder. Anyway, let's get back to this. I digress. And that was our upper vert 2. So it's a good idea to give common names to help yourself out and other people out. This is just going to be vert 4. We'll leave that alone. And we're going to call this here lower vert 5. And let's try to give it a T now. There we go. Lower vert 5. Lower vert 6. Lower vert 7. All right, beautiful. So we have all the verts. Our arches are called arches. That's good. Candy canes are called candy canes. We'll do this. We'll go candy canes left, and then we'll do candy canes right. Good. Let's do We'll call these columns. Column 1. Column 2. Column 3. And column 4. What did we miss? We've got a garage. Let's call that garage. And yep. And this is going to be a polyline 4. That is going to be, we'll just call this patio. Patio eaves. That should be, we could just call this wreath 42 so that you know it's 42 inches, or no, let's just call this wreath. All right, we're looking good. So, how far are we into this? 31 minutes just to do this? Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's take a look at this without the house in the background. Hello, Ron. 0. Click somewhere else. There we go. All right, that's looking pretty cool. That is a big house. I think it's around 3,600 square feet, so it's a pretty big home for California. All right, this looks good. There's a lot of verts. There's some great areas for horizontals. There's just a few props. It's still good coverage, and the columns are going to look awesome. All right. Yeah, if we wanted to add more stuff, we certainly could. We could add, if I was going to do anything, I would probably put lines here for the driveway and maybe outline here on the grass, but I don't want to make this home look exactly like mine. But it's starting to, isn't it? Okay, let's put in a matrix. And we'll just put this guy right here. I don't know how big that is, but 16 by 50? Yeah, let's do that. Let's just leave that there. Oh, have we forgotten something? What? Come on, man. Get your tree in there. There we go. And we'll do a 190-degree tree. And we'll do, let's do 24 by 75. And I think that's going to look pretty cool. It is, you know, it's a pretty big house. That's it. We're doing 100. It's 32 by 100 now. Look at that. Look at us just go crazy here with the tree. All right, we've got that on there. Let's bring it down a little bit because if I put a star on top, it's gonna cut in a little bit. I don't really want to. I'll pull this forward even though it wouldn't really be that close. And we'll do one more. Let's go ahead and just give this. This is tree. It's not any tree. It's a mega tree. And let's pull a star in. Oh, look what I did. There we go. Much better. And we are looking for stars. And let's put a Bethlehem 42 on there. I think that'll work. Okay, that was a really bad idea. Really bad idea. Because that's going to just stick up and mess up my upper line. So let's go with this 40 Chroma Star 46-inch 6-ring. That's the one I have. And I love it. All right, that's okay. If it's up there just a little bit, I don't care. I don't care. That's good. Alrighty, let's save that. Let's just call this Mega Star. All right. I love it. All right. Let's just look at this thing. And we'll just throw some things in here. All models. And there's everything in here. Gotta love that. Now if we wanted to, we could go in here and rearrange the order. Now I haven't created any groups, so all the groups will go at the top. I'll create a whole house layout, or a whole house group I should say, that would go at the top, and then the groups below it. But at least we can see some things work. And what do we start with? Oh yes, the butterfly, the ultimate test. And heck, let's just put something in here like this. Let's roll the dice. Let's see what happens here. This is gonna be funny. And we're gonna right click and we're gonna create random effects. Step right up, folks. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Let's hope it doesn't crash the system. I've not done this before. So I don't know what we're gonna get. Oh my god, we've created a sequence with one button touch. Wow. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's see what we're working with. Oh, I just lost 100 cells. No, Run, what have you done? They're gonna make sequences for free forever. That's okay. That's okay. Let's play it. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Nah, I'm not gonna sing. It's just not right. Yeah. Well, it's a hot mess, but it's doing something. Like, you know what? Nobody that's ever seen a light show before, they come out and watch this, they're gonna think that you are royalty. All right, I love it. I think that's really cool. All right, so we know things are working, and that's great. And let's go back to our layout. As a matter of fact, I think this is probably where we're going to end. In the next section, we'll start defining groups. We will put together the channels, and then maybe just a little bit of light sequencing to give this house some character. So it's been 37 minutes. Again, if you made it this far, I'm sorry, or thank you. Really, thank you for hanging out and watching some of this. I really hope this information helps you with your show. The people that are coming into this hobby, that are new to this, where this is like some foreign language, hang in there. It gets easier over time. Keep watching the videos. Keep going to the various resources and grabbing information. Show up on the Wednesday night calls. Ask questions. Send me private messages. Send me emails. Whatever you need to help you learn this information better, faster, because it's March now, and we don't have much time. Okay, I'm serious. It's March. Time to put that game face on. We'll see you guys later. Take it easy.